San Francisco!
Yo, welcome to the Wildcard weekend with my boy. Look at his hat right now. He has what? 7 hours until I don't know math. 9 hours until
9 hours.
so he gets to do ball and watch the Jaguars play the Chargers. It like I said, it's Wildcard weekend. Usually on the Route Tree TV, we talk about the week prior and then we do our quick pick'ems. Nah, we're done with the regular season. Week 18 usually is let's fight for the first pick overall in the draft, or you place yourself in the playoffs. But we know what the playoff seeding is. We're in the wild card right now, and today, which is Saturday, the 14th of January, 16:30, we're talking about the Seattle Seahawks going into Santa Clara to play the San Francisco 49ers. Mario, I'll let you go before I go on a rampant on this one because I have a lot to say.
So, this is one of those games, in my opinion, that I feel could if there was ever I know I see it, bud. If there was ever a trap game for the playoffs,
Thank you.
This could be it. Like if there was a playoff trap game, I feel like this could be it because it's always interesting. Like you always, division games always go both ways during the season. You know what I mean? And now you're gonna mix two teams who have seen each other twice already in the playoffs for a third time. Some player was saying it's like the third date. You don't take them home to the third date. You know what I mean? So they're trying to figure out if this. I watched an interview. I forgot who said it, but this is the third date game here. So it's interesting because you got two very excellent stories. You have Seattle, who's been able to get the most out of Geno Smith after the Russell Wilson trade.
Absolutely.
They've maximized their whole entire last draft with stars throughout the first 5 or 6 rounds, essentially. And they've overachieved. And then you got the Niners, who've been running roughshod through quarterbacks here, and they've had a historic defense. They've had Brock Purdy's been able to play to keep them elevated and get them to where they are right now. So it's a case of you have two quarterbacks who, as long as they don't make a mistake, you're fine. But they're also two quarterbacks that you can't lean on heavily because that's when things start getting bad. So it's interesting to see because you got a guy with Geno Smith who's trying to compete for the longevity of his career and the starting job in the future versus a guy in Brock Purdy who's essentially playing with house money and playing and can play like there's no tomorrow. So I find that game very intriguing. I think in my heart I think the Niners will win. Oh, look who it is.
My boy Rockstar in the building.
So I think the Niners will win, but I would not be surprised if the Seahawks pull one over on them. If San Francisco gets through Seattle, I feel like they should be fine. The rest of the way through.
I like that take, but watch this. Watch this. I need your take before I go because I know that I have a lot to say.
I think, like I said before to you, Seattle is a trap game. I don't think
Mario just said that.
I don't think it's going to be hard for y'all, but I think that they want it more. 2, everybody sits here and knows the playoffs is another season. Experience trumps a lot in the playoffs. Okay. Brock Purdy has been a wonderful Cinderella story, and I believe in it myself. I feel the 49ers, basically the weapons you guys have, All you got to do is not make mistakes. That's all you have to do. And even if you make mistakes, let me rephrase. All you have to do is not make too many mistakes.
Facts.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're a big Geno Smith guy. You're fucking.
You know. Yeah, and it's just because I like. It's not even that I love Geno Smith, and I've seen somebody saying, if you thought Geno Smith was going to be good this year, stop lying. And I'm like, I did. I just think that from the beginning, I was keeping up with him in preseason, and it just everything about Geno Smith, he earned the job,
He's a Pro Bowler.
he earned the job. So all I'm gonna sit here and say is this: I think that it's the Niners game. I think they will have trouble with Philly, but I don't see them losing to Philly. I think Philly. You guys will be able to run all day on Philly. The only problem I see with Philly.
I don't see no problem with Philly. Don't let me talk.
I think the offense will score. I think it'll be a shootout. I think the offense will score, even though you guys have so many weapons. Who are y'all cornerbacks?
Right.
That's where I see y'all the Phillies wide receivers bullying your corners. That's about it. I'm not gonna spend too much time.
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans does well because I totally agree with
Because
what
you're
you're
going
saying.
against AJ Brown
I was gonna say that I totally agree with what you're saying, but D'Amico Ryans covers a lot of the weaknesses because everyone like I put it in our chat. Talanoa Hufanga is really good, but he's
Damn right he
really
is.
he is really bad in the pass coverage. When he is forced to cover someone, he gets beat every single time.
You know he went to school, right?
Yeah, that's why I don't care. That's why I don't care. But what I'm saying is Talanoa Hufanga is an all-pro because of the chances he takes per game. He has 4 interceptions. All but 3 were give me's. Talanoa Hufanga, when he plays pass coverage, gets burnt every single time. And if you look at the history of the Niners this year, just this year, anytime they scored big, go look at the tape for Kansas City. It was always against Talanoa Hufanga. He's a real good safety. He gets in the box. He knows how to blitz. He knows how to tackle. He does everything. The thing that I got pissed off is like he's Troy Polamalu. No, he's not. Because Polamalu
Excuse me, is he free or strong? Is he free or strong?
He's free. No, he's strong. He's strong.
Okay, let's say he'd be a horrible free.
Yeah, he's a horrible strong. This was coming from the person that loves the Niners. I know for a fact that every time, like I said, if we lose, so let me talk about this game.
We're doing
A team with 10 wins going into a playoff, right? Since 2001, only one team won the Super Bowl out of that. Just that's one stat. Okay, we're 10 games.
I thought y'all were 12 and 4.
No.
Or 12 and 5.
No.
What's your record?
We are 13 and 4. We are 10 games going win streak going in. That's against us.
Okay.
That's against us. The next thing that is against us is we're playing a third team divisional game. And this is why I want to talk about this. The playoffs. The playoffs.
And they won. Did they win both of them?
Yes, 2-0. Same thing last year against the Rams, 2-0. And they played them for the third time. And who won the Super Bowl? But the thing that I want to talk about is this. This playoff seeding, I don't agree with. I don't know why the NFL did this. The Bills and the 49ers, they should have a bye week, right? In the old days. The top 2 teams get a bye week. But now you added you added another team on the back end to maybe potentially upset that team. What? So listen to this. If the Niners lose, which is a real big factor, it really might happen. If the Niners lose this week or in a couple hours, right? They lose. The ratings of this playoffs loses a lot. Thinking business wise, you keep the Seahawks in, which in the old playoff seedings they never made it to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't like this new seeding thing. The Niners should be chilling. But what I like about the 49ers is they're treading the right way since 2019. Everyone knows the Niners have been a injury prone team, right? This year they've been recovering and getting players back. So injury prone, yeah, Jimmy G's gone, but he's coming back as a backup to Purdy this playoffs. But a lot of these players are coming back as backups. That wasn't it since 2019. We always had the injury bug. I think the Niners, like you said, if they get over the hump of the Seattle Seahawks, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. But this is definitely a trap game. This is definitely a trap game. Now we're gonna go to this next game at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. This is a game.
There we go. There you are. I texted you. You were frozen, but we could hear you the whole time.
This
We were
is
yelling your name. We were like, "Yo, you're frozen," and I was like, "He can't hear it."
this is the game that Mario is about to be at.
Yes,
We're gonna
sir.
talk. We're gonna talk about the. You already know how I do this. The San Diego Chargers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Where my boy and Kyle. Shout out to Kyle to Duval to watch this game. Tell me about this game, Mario.
So this is, I think, no offense to the Seattle SF game. I think this is going to be the best game of the night. To be honest with you,
Yes, sir.
they're two fairly evenly matched teams. The only issue that I have is Mike Williams is out, so they're gonna be that's a key piece that the Chargers are gonna be missing. Jacksonville doesn't have any key players missing really. I think Brandon Scherf has an ab injury, but I'm sure he'll be all right. This is gonna be a very high offense, high octane type of game. I think the Chargers, have oddly flown under the radar the whole season, which is crazy. But I mean, when you're in the same division as the Chiefs, you're gonna fly under the radar like that. But I think you have two very high octane offenses. They have probably the best receiving running back in the NFL in Austin Eckler. They have Keenan Allen, who's going to be fantastic. Justin Herbert, who again I feel is a top 5, top 6, 7 quarterback in the NFL. I don't think anybody talks about him or gives him the credit where it's due. The only thing that I think that will hold them back is Staley, their coach. If anybody's going to screw this team over, it's going to be Staley. So I think the key for the Chargers is, as long as they do what they need to do when they need to do it and not get too aggressive on the fourth downs, they'll be fine. Right? For the Chargers, or not for the Chargers, for Jacksonville, they shouldn't even fucking be here in people's eyes. Like they shouldn't even be here. Like they this was the Titans division to lose. I fucking told you when there was 4 games left, I was like, the Titans are gonna drop those 4 games, and I was like, the Jaguars, this is like my Cleveland Indians fucking take. Like a few months ago, I told you they were gonna drop those 4, and Jacksonville was gonna pick up those 4, and Jacksonville was gonna make the playoffs. I told you, all right. And like in their eyes, like that shouldn't have even happened because this was still a rebuilding year for them.
Facts.
You know what I mean? This was a rebuild year, a chemistry year, a year where like players are still trying to figure each other out, and they snuck into the playoffs. All right. Trevor Lawrence, it took him 3 years, but he's finally looking like the guy that everybody thought he was going to be coming out of college. Okay. You got Travis Etienne, who's been playing pretty solid. Then you have Christian Kirk. Yeah, Christian Kirk is like the one guy that every NFL receiver thanks is Christian Kirk for that big ass deal he got. But Christian Kirk has been playing pretty fantastic. This is gonna be like this. I look at Jacksonville the same way I look at Brock Purdy. They're playing with house money. They shouldn't be here. They have nothing to lose. So I think they should come out the gate as long as they control the clock and they're the more aggressive team. That's what's going to be key is how aggressive Jacksonville is going to be. Because you shouldn't be here. Everybody thinks you shouldn't be here. Like you weren't even in the playoff picture until halfway through the season. Like, be aggressive, and play like there's no tomorrow.
I like this team. I really do like this team. I like both teams actually. Everyone in the Route Tree TV since the beginning, we speak highly on the Chargers and we speak highly on the Jaguars. So this game, to me, is like I don't care who wins, only on the base of we knew that they were going to be here. The Jaguars making it is believable only because of what you said, the division. What other team was the Titans? That's it.
The division
The
was
Titans.
awful. The Colts were awful, and it was the Titans division to lose.
And they lost.
Like,
the Titans last year, y'all forgot the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC. The number 1 seed in the AFC.
That's my point. That's my point.
To go from the number 1 seed to not even making the playoffs, which obviously Green Bay did too.
They got worse.
Yeah.
You get rid of AJ Brown, and you realize like like AJ Brown and Henry your offense.
What is the what is it?
What's that?
What is the same thing that happened? The Titans and the Green Bay Packers. They both were the number 1 seed last year. What happened? They lost their wide receiver 1. And look where they're at. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm saying Devontae Adams and AJ Brown gone. In one season, they went from the number 1 seed and now they're not in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. Explain it if you want to.
Like it was just it's funny because I don't think that GM. I think the GM either got fired or he ain't gonna be there no more. Regardless, like of the
they're looking at the Niners to get a new GM.
But like you get rid of your best player, and like I don't know how you expect to be a better team, and it showed because I think AJ Brown gave a lot of leeway for Ryan Tannehill to take those chances, and I think he tried to take the same chances with Burks. And though I think Burks will eventually be a very good receiver, he's not that guy yet.
Not yet.
He's not that guy.
AJ Brown.
It's crazy.
It's so rare, bro.
You see, like it's like a tale of 2 GMs, right? Because last year, Trent Baalke, who's the GM of Jacksonville, they were calling for that man's head last year. I was at that game where they were chanting "Fire Baalke," and they had all those YouTube videos and all those memes on Bleacher Report where those motherfuckers were chanting "Fire that guy," and he went out, made moves, and like brought essentially a whole new offensive line and a whole bunch of weapons in, and that was the difference. You had a guy who was trying to add by subtraction financially, as opposed to a guy who was willing to throw money to make a team better, to make a run at the postseason. You know, that's what happens when you spend money the right way.
Go ahead, watch.
You get.
So the Jaguars. You're absolutely right. This is a hard game for me to pick because I love both these teams.
By the way, I didn't say that. My bad.
I'm Jags too.
I was trying to look when I was on my phone. I was trying to look at the Chargers injury report because to me, last time the Jags beat the Chargers were banged the hell up.
Yes.
And even though they're still banged up, I don't know if they're banged as bad up. There's gonna be
The
Trevor
Chargers, are
Lawrence
missing,
versus,
the Chargers are missing Mike Williams. Mike Williams is out.
and I think
But,
a
but
huge loss is gonna be
nobody
that
key is out for Jacksonville.
they shouldn't have played their starters. I know. This is my thing. Tom Coughlin used to play his starters because if they don't get injured, there's a lot of momentum riding.
Fucking Giants.
You know what I'm
fan,
saying?
Bro.
They're hot, they're warm. You know, but I think there are a lot of pros to playing starters there. But to a team that was already injury prone, to a team that was already struggling with injuries all season, why not rest them? Like the Giants. Sorry to bring them on. I know we're not here. Like the Giants.
Yeah.
Rest those key starters. Rest those key starters. Those other people who need extra time, okay. That right there is why their coach will be fired. That is why he's on the hot seat. I think Doug Peterson's playoff experience is going to be why Trevor Lawrence edges Justin Herbert. Yeah. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert. I don't think the Jaguars team is built better than the Chargers team. But I do think the Jaguars are going to come out with this win, including home field advantage. Like I said, I used to live in Jacksonville. My timeline is my feed.
It's wild, bro.
Yo, my feed, because I went to school in Jacksonville. Like I graduated from San Diego High School. Like, listen, I went to school. I finished high school in Jacksonville, Florida. My feed is a whole bunch of people saying, "I ain't never seen so many Jaguar bandwagoners in my life." That is what my feed is saying.
I'm one of them.
That's what. That is what my feed is saying. All right. So I think the energy, and listen, so you know Duval, right? I heard that, right? When I moved to Florida and I went to school, and I remember like when I walked in the hall, this dude was like Duval. And I looked at him like, what the hell are you talking about? I had never heard somebody represent a county before.
Yeah.
That was back in 2003, 2004. Okay. Now Duval is in Madden as a what is the thing called, Fred? The enhancers, the
the home advantage thing.
Yeah, the home advantage. It's one of those.
Listen. I don't care. Just play your game so I can play mine.
So look, so the energy that Jacksonville's gonna have, and all these things piled up.
Absolutely.
Jacksonville's not the better team. Jacksonville has more to play for. The way
you know what the home field games in Jacksonville remind me of? Like not to like
use an Arrowhead
100%, but they remind me of They remind me of Raider games in Oakland.
But like Arrowhead. Don't disrespect Arrowhead, bro.
No. No. I've never been to Arrowhead, so I'm just thinking of experience. So like they remind but I'm just talking about the atmosphere. It's a very collegiate, very rowdy type of atmosphere.
I get
like
it.
Oakland.
I get it. Yeah,
like,
I get it.
But it's not Oakland, but it's like Oakland. Like if you could find another like something comparable experience, that would be it. It's
very
dope.
Loyal. Very loyal.
Yes, it's dope.
No more. That's it.
I like the Jaguars in this game too.
Yeah.
I really do.
I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be a close game. And I think it's all going to depend on if this team, if you were to say this was the matchup at the beginning of the year from week 1, it would have been a no-brainer. I think today, and I think you said it, Mark, the Jaguars have nothing to lose. They weren't supposed to be here.
They should,
The Chargers were supposed to be here. Maybe not in this seed, but the Chargers were supposed to compete against the Chiefs. They were supposed to go to the playoffs in the beginning. And at one point in time, people started worrying, are the Chargers going to make it to the playoffs? There was a legitimate fear.
That's a good
point.
So
there's so much going on for the Jaguars that if they lose, it's not going to be like, no. It's going to be like, well, we should have been here. So we see the progress.
Essentially, it's two different teams. You have a team with something to prove and a team with nothing to lose. And it's which one is
nothing to lose.
You know what I mean? It's dangerous. Nothing to lose is dangerous.
the Chargers were not supposed to be where they're at, but they're
Yes.
supposed to be there.
Yes.
The Jaguars are not supposed to even they weren't supposed to get a ticket to the dance.
That's a great take.
No.
I think the Jaguars are going to win barely, and this momentum is going to be good enough for them to play competitive in the next round and get bounced.
So,
Like I've said to any of you, I think the Jaguars can beat any team in the AFC playoffs not named Kansas City. I think they could.
They could beat the Ravens.
that's a big take.
They could
That's
beat
a
the
big.
Ravens.
That's a big take.
So
They're not
listen,
beating the Bills. They're not beating
But
the
the
Bills.
thing is, I don't think they'll beat Buffalo in Buffalo. But if they played Buffalo and Jacks, which won't happen.
See, and you're wild because I don't think they beat.
They beat
Cincy.
Buffalo before.
I don't think
They
they
beat
beat
Buffalo
Cincy.
twice.
I'm saying Cincy.
That's another one. Cincy.
I don't think they beat Cincy. I think they beat Buffalo. I don't think they beat Cincy.
Each
I don't.
game,
And I
each
think
game-
Joe Burrow
Listen,
Joe Burrow is one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in current time. And I think what he would do to that defense, because the Jacksonville Jaguars have a good defense.
Yeah.
It's nothing to rave about, it's nothing to talk about.
Momentum. That's all it is. Momentum in the
fans.
playoffs. And what Washington said, like the hottest team, shout out to Aaron, the hottest team going in is the hottest team going out. And Buffalo, they're fighting for something, right? Cincy,
Jacksonville's won 4 straight.
Buffalo's fighting.
What's more hotter than winning 4 straight?
A person that almost died and came back and went to the arena to watch them play.
Was it Cincinnati's teammate?
No,
That gotta do with Cincinnati.
I'm talking about Buffalo. They're gonna play Buffalo,
Yeah.
and Cincy is also a hot team. When's the last time Cincy lost?
Yeah.
These two teams are hot, and you want to talk about teams? Those two on the AFC, that's the hottest teams out there. Jacksonville, you are a hot team. You are.
Back.
They are a hot team. They're going in hot. You're going in with a quarterback that has one of the best QBRs going in, but at the same time, you're still going against my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they make it to the conference, I'm not surprised. But they're going against my homeboy. And that's where I'm like, I draw the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I draw the line for that one. The Chiefs, you're not beating the Chiefs. What do you think about that, Wash? Anybody?
The Jaguars?
Yes. They're not beating the
Anybody
Chiefs.
in the AFC or the Jaguars?
Jaguars going to the Super Bowl. They're not beating the Chiefs.
Cincinnati.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I think the worst team for the Jacksonville played against people like Patrick Mahomes. He can hone his skills, but you know how Patrick Mahomes said he didn't really learn how to read defenses
Like
until XYZ.
Yeah, like
Joe Burrow knows how to read defenses, bro.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
he came in knowing how to read defenses.
What I'm saying is, it wouldn't be as hot of a take if the Jaguars beat the Chiefs as you think.
I'm not mad at y'all for that. I'm mad to figure out that the majority of that shit wasn't even taken, bro. I don't know why this shit was stopped.
What? I'm done. I quit. I'm out. I'm leaving.
You think it didn't take because you were frozen.
Thanks. You were frozen for like a good take. Is he frozen? Yeah, you were good for. I mean, it's still good convo. You know, it's still.
No, I got the conversation, and I'll patch it up together. But at the same time, I'm really pissed off that my internet is doing this right now.
Because I don't really have a lot of people in the cab who I can just talk football with. Everybody's like, football, what's that? You know, so I appreciate it.
You had Johnson. You had Mike Johnson. So we're going to this next game, to a game that I think is a walk. We're talking about a game that I could have went to. We're talking about Buffalo at Miami. So go ahead and talk about it, Mario. I'll be back because I have to use the bathroom.
Whoa, okay, you just gonna leave me on the spot like that? Oh my god. All right, chat. It's just you and me. You got a team in Buffalo who is kind of riding the emotional train right now with the DeMar Hamlin situation that happened. They're playing in Buffalo. Buffalo, Miami met once already in Buffalo. But this is going to be a different Miami team. Skylar Thompson is starting. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about the guy. All I know is it ain't Tua. Hold on a second, chat. It ain't Tua. So with that being said, with that not now. I apologize. With that being said, I don't know. I think that Buffalo should run away with this game. You're playing with an unproven rookie quarterback who hasn't started a down in the NFL, which is unfortunate because if Tua was playing, I feel like this would be another game that was really as good as it was prior to. Thanks for coming back. I've been fucking talking to myself for what felt like an eternity.
You're not talking to yourself. You're talking to the fans.
I know. But I feel Buffalo's going to run away with it. Miami doesn't have their quarterback, which is unfortunate because I feel like if they would have protected Tua more. See, now that you guys are back, it's all flowing back to me. So if they would have protected Tua more, we wouldn't be in a situation now where this guy that I've never heard of named Skylar Thompson is starting.
Who is he? Where is
he played at like Kansas State or something.
So
I was trying to look. I was trying to look up, and like,
ew.
yeah, Kansas State. I don't know. He's from Kansas State. Yeah, my bad for the cough. I'm trying to.
No,
get
you got
it.
that's true. So look, all I'm gonna say on this game is this. You know those games during the season where like, why are we talking about this? Right? If it was in Miami, we may be able to have a conversation.
No,
But in Buff, I think it would be more of a conversation than now. I think now, I think
I kind of went to this game and I denied it.
so. I would put it like this. So Tua, if they would have set Tua down earlier in the middle of the season for maybe 3-4 weeks, in the middle of the season, the moment his injury happened, 3-4 weeks, and committed to, hey, you know what? We may just go 0-4 during the stretch. Maybe 0-5.
Yep.
If you would have done that, you would have had a healthy Tua today. Because you're not telling me this concussion, you're not telling me the 3-4 concussions he got during the year don't pile on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if Tua was in the game, it would be a lot more interesting.
Tua will wind up in another movie with Will Smith.
I don't think this is a game. I think that spending too much time on this game is a discredit to the fans and everything else.
It sucks. It really sucks because we all know what kind of game this would have been. But I really want to talk about this since we're on this trash ass game anyway. The way that the NFL changed the landscape of how playoffs are. You got to think. The Seattle Seahawks are playing the Niners for the third time. The Dolphins are playing the Bills for the third time. And then on the next topic, when we get down to the schedule, the Ravens and the Bengals are playing for the third time. I don't like this. I really don't. I really don't like the for the third time type of stuff because we all know how football is. Any given Sunday, you may be the best team, but that time you might not be the best team for 3 hours.
That's what makes it good, though. That's what makes it good because if right now, by the end of this weekend, if you were to see Seahawks advance, Bills advance, Dolphins advance, you said the ratings would go down.
Yes.
I think it would be the exact opposite.
No.
Because everyone's going to sit here and be, okay, listen, just hear me out. I think people are going to be like, what the? And it would be must-see TV because now you got to see how far can they go. Perfect example, 2008, there was this team that made it in through the wild cards. The first team they had to play was the Buccaneers. And I just seen a video on this. Overwhelming odds the Bucs should have won. Overwhelming. Everybody had the Bucs. The Bucs lost. Next, I want to say, the Cowboys. overwhelming odds the Cowboys were going to win. The Cowboys lost. Next round, the Packers. It became a Cinderella story. To the time when they got to the Super Bowl, and that's what was going to happen. At the end of the day, nobody wants to see Brady win another championship. Nobody wants to see San Francisco steamroll. It's interesting. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see a blowout. You want to see it. It's not going to make the best rating. Listen, the best way this can end.
Nobody
Listen,
is gonna watch
hear me
a
out.
Seattle
Hear me out.
Seahawks
Hear
game,
me out.
bro.
Hear me out.
Look,
Hear me out.
So
Hear me out. Hear me out.
The
best ending.
Win and who I want to see win are like two different things, bro.
Correct.
The Super Bowl.
Here, the best ending. I'm trying to tell you, the best ending
I don't want
rating.
to see Chiefs and Niners.
Listen what I'm saying.
It's
Let
gonna
me
give
finish.
you ratings,
Let me
though.
finish.
Seattle
Let me
or
finish.
49ers?
Let me finish. I'm sorry, I was thinking of the meme. The best winner, viewer wise for the NFL is if the Jacksonville Jaguars win it all.
No, stop. No one's watching that shit.
Listen, you're a liar. The amount of if any team came out and Jacksonville Jaguars won it, there's literally no situation. There's no better Cinderella story.
Watch, I can almost tell you that they never even had good TV ratings during the season.
The best Cinderella story is if the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were never supposed to make it to the playoffs, who after making to the playoffs became the number 4 seed, won the AFC South because the Jacksonville Jaguars are the hottest team.
You're talking about football fans. I'm talking about casuals.
And I'm telling you this, rating-wise, I guarantee you that'd be the best rating.
Stop.
Because,
however,
Jaguars.
Personally, Seattle, nothing.
Geno Smith is a great comeback story.
Right.
No, it's not.
For me, if I were to pick a matchup that I wanted to see in the Super Bowl, I'd want to see I'm not gonna say Jags because I know we're gonna go with that. I'd want to see Bengals and Philly.
Boring.
But you see what I'm saying? That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup.
Boring. You saying that because the Niners
are biased. Kansas City versus San Fran would be a good Super Bowl. I'm not going to deny it. But at that point in time,
Cincy versus what he said.
Listen, I want to see two fucking teams that I hate.
There's no underdog story. People love. It's all proven. People love an underdog story. There's no underdog story with two juggernauts.
I'm saying it now. Jags and Giants for the Super Bowl.
All right, I'm saying it now. Oh, you're
You would be amazed that you'd be like, how? You would literally be like, yo, there's no, because you would be like, what?
Jags and Giants Super Bowl. That's my dream matchup.
Wake up. That's all I say. Wake up. Your PlayStation's on? Go ahead and do that on Madden. Because that's not happening. That's not happening. We're going to talk about this next game, why he's gone, because we're going to get mad. We're talking about the Giants watching Minnesota, why he's gone. So we're going to talk about the Giants game.
You a hoe. No. I'm starting this one. I'm taking over. Okay, hello, this is my podcast for this one game. All right, we're going to talk about the Giants, motherfucking Minnesota Vikings. So let's get real. Let's take a look back. It was week 16 when the Vikings scored a 61-yard field goal to beat the New York Giants in regulation. One, I don't like everybody has the Giants winning. I don't. Prime time Kirk has to emerge today. He has to. Sorry, tomorrow. He has to.
1600.
He has to because
1600.
That's still prime time.
To.
Like every playoff game is prime time at that point in time.
Exactly. So I have to.
The time frame is irrelevant in the playoffs.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. I have to speak real first before I go on my tandem. If Adoree Jackson is in, he will minimize the damage that JJ will do. They are going to game plan around JJ. The Giants defense is going to game plan to stop JJ, which leaves the game open for Dalvin Cook. If we get hurt, if we lose, I guarantee it's going to be more of a rush attack than a pass attack. I understand our secondary is abysmal.
Trash.
Besides, we have Julian Love. I like Julian Love. I like Adoree. I like Xavier McKinney too. However,
You about to lose with fucking what's his name? What's his name? I forgot that DB's name, but he's gonna ruin it for y'all.
Look,
Cordero Flott.
I'll tell you this. Danny Dimes is throwing for 300. Saquon Barkley is running for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
See, and that's what I'm going to say. I don't know if Daniel will throw for 3, but I know that they're scheming to. It's not going to be consistent. It will not be a consistent run game. Will not be a consistent pass. Here's the game plan on how we're going to beat Minnesota. We're going to start off passing. We're going to start off passing because everybody knows the Giants are going to run the ball.
Minnesota's defense is so suspect, though.
And that is why
y'all don't want my take, man.
The Giants will beat. The Giants will beat Minnesota. What is going on? Oh, that's Rebecca. The Giants will beat Minnesota 24-21.
All right, so
on route to doing the Giants-Jags Super Bowl.
Can I speak real quick?
I don't know. No, you're not next. You're not next on this take, Mario.
As long as the only words that come out of your mouth is Giants in the Super Bowl, you can talk.
No. Hey, mute yourself. Mario, you're next. This is my segment. This is my segment of the podcast. Mario, go ahead. You're next. Podcast take over.
I've been saying it all season long. I don't trust Minnesota.
Right.
At all. Like I just don't trust Minnesota. Even prior to them playing the Giants, I don't trust Minnesota. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I don't trust that defense. This is as much of a trap game for New York, or as for Minnesota, as it is as the Seattle game is for the Niners. In my eyes, that's how I look at it. I think the Giants can pull. Like I feel like this is a perfect storm game for a first round bounce for Minnesota. I feel it. The Giants are riding high. Minnesota's stumbling over the last few games. We've said it. We've been saying it this whole damn podcast anyways. The big M word, momentum. The Giants got it. The Giants have it. What's that?
He lost their last game.
But how many? But what was the record of the last 4 or 5 games?
Right. But I'm just saying the thing that I'm going with this is if you actually watch that Minnesota Giants game, the Giants played a perfect game and lost by 6, and they lost by a field goal, while the Vikings played a mediocre game. This is where I'm going with this. I'm with y'all. I'm going Giants. They want their lick back, but at the same time, when you go into that game in Week 16, the Giants played almost an immaculate, perfect game just to lose by a field goal, while the Vikings were playing not that good. So I get it. We're all on the hype of let's get the lick back, but at the same time, it's like the Vikings didn't play ultimately their best game. So if they played their best game, I see the Vikings winning, but I'm with the Giants on this one.
My indictment is on their defense being hit or miss, and Kirk Cousins got to show me he can play a fucking be good on a primetime game. If you're gonna like 2 people I'm not gonna pick to win is Derek Carr in cold weather and Kirk Cousins on a primetime game. I'm just not gonna do it.
That's not bad. That's not bad of a take.
Because they haven't showed me that they can do it consistently.
Yeah, but that's the only problem I have with it is when I rewatched it the other day and I'm watching it and I'm like, bro, everything that the Giants were doing, they were clicking all 3 cylinders. They were perfect in that game.
If you do it once, you can do it again, man.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
And I'm not saying they can't, but what I'm saying is they're peaked. And the Vikings fucking up that game, they only lost by a field goal. I just see a problem in betting in that game if I was a gambler, because the Vikings didn't even show us their best game against the Giants. That's the only problem I have about this. I'm not saying, because like I said, I'm with you and the guy that's not in his seat. I'm with y'all. I'm going with the Giants too. I really want them to win because the Vikings are frauds, like you said. We've always talked about that. But during that game in Week 16, I really can't dismiss the shit that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the only thing I'm saying. So we're gonna go to this next game. There's no point of talking this game, but I need to because I fucked up with our streaming, and all of a sudden I have two freaking things I have to edit. But it's another game of the third time you play, which is why I hate this playoff scheme. The Ravens go to Cincinnati. I don't know if this is even a thing to discuss. Cincinnati is one. I think it's the hottest team in the AFC at this point. Niners are the hottest in NFC. I think the not not the Jaguars. Jaguars a couple games behind, but Bengals are the highest team right now. I could be wrong though.
No, I think they are too, and it's so unfortunate. Like, because this game could have been one of those really good games. I think like a Sunday only has one good game in my eyes, and that's the Giants Minnesota game. This I think Buffalo and Miami's gonna get murdered. Yeah, and I think Baltimore without Lamar Jackson is just a different team. And I think Cincinnati is too good and too powerful to be playing to be trapped by a Baltimore with Lamar Jackson.
It's
So
it sucks, man, because Baltimore at 10-7. Think about it. When's the last time we saw Lamar Jackson play?
this is the second straight year that he's missed the end of the season.
But just think about it. They're 10-7, and Lamar Jackson hasn't played for the majority of this season. That speaks volumes to that coaching. That's what I'm saying.
And that's going to speak volumes in that contract talk too.
So I like to talk about that as soon as Washington comes. That contract that y'all talking about, right? Who got a contract from the Ravens recently? Roquan Smith, 5 years, just got paid.
100%.
Highest linebacking contract in history. What do you think about that, knowing that they paid him and not Lamar yet?
So I think that Lamar Jackson. So this is I get where you're kind of like baiting on that, but I think Lamar Jackson cut off conversations once the season started because Lamar Jackson is his own agent. So I think he
That's
said
true.
we have until the season starts. Once the season starts, I'm not going to talk about the contract. I want to focus on the season, and then we can pick up conversation talks after the season is over. Roquan Smith, his agent was just like, we'll just talk about it during the season. So I think
No.
that shouldn't be as much of a factor because I'm pretty sure Lamar Jackson was like, we have until the season starts, and then once the season starts, we won't talk about it until after the season is over.
I think he was pretty smart. When he got hurt, it wasn't that big of a injury, but he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I did enough. Pay me.
So he posted on Twitter 2 days ago that he has a PCL grade 2 sprain on the borderline of a PCL grade 3 strain. So that's a pretty severe injury for somebody who uses his legs like that. I think it was his legs, right? It was his knee, right? Yeah. So I'm pretty sure for somebody who uses his legs like that, that's a very severe thing that you don't want to push. So I made comments about him, I think, earlier, saying if I was him, I wouldn't come back and allow the contract, blah, 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 so on and so forth. No, knowing now what the injury is, I wouldn't come back until I'm good to go because of how much he not even the money. Not even the money. The guy uses his legs more than anything, and that's his biggest asset. Is his
You
legs.
don't want him to turn to RG3.
Yeah, bro, I was so on the RG3 hype, man. I had an RG3 jersey, bro. That was my guy, and I watched that guy get killed on the field. And they rushed him back, and he got killed again. And they rushed him back again, and he got killed again. He was never the same guy. His rookie year.
I hate that example because his offensive coordinator was Kyle Shanahan.
Which is why
Yeah,
I
but
don't.
like,
To be honest, that's why I don't like Kyle Shanahan because you ran a black man to the ground. No, but okay. All I want to say is this: that obviously, I'm not going to speak like I was here the whole time. I heard bits and pieces. The biggest thing that caught my eye was Lamar Jackson needs to think of the longevity of his career.
facts.
If it sucks that you miss a playoff game, it sucks that you miss an opportunity. But let's be real. It's not like you were on the cusp of a championship and Lamar Jackson not playing. It's the deciding factor.
And think about it. Think about it. If he goes back and plays and tears that, that's going to factor into the contract talks at the end of the year. They're going to be like, "Oh, he might not be the same once we pay, like because of the knee."
And if
Because
Detroit,
at the end of the day,
if
his
Lamar,
legs are such a huge value to his arm. And I think once you lose that, I don't think he's going to be as effective as a quarterback.
Detroit is going to need, if they're going to make a run at Lamar, which I do think is the best run, I think that is who will try to get him.
No.
I don't know, though.
Baltimore's going to tag him, bro. Baltimore's going to tag him.
That's all it is. I fucking hate the franchise tag.
He's not getting out of Baltimore. They're going to tag him. And he doesn't have to play on it, but they're going to tag him. There's no way. I don't see a situation where Baltimore's like bounce. Because who are they going to replace him with? Go like fucking Huntley? Like,
that's not gonna
they're
happen.
gonna tag.
You're absolutely right. The franchise tag is gonna keep him for at least one more year, but at the same time, like the franchise tag is also one of those receipts saying, fuck you, you're staying one more time, where I know you don't want to be here." I think that ultimately Lamar Jackson is not a Raven in 2025. When it comes to that season, I think that he plays for the Ravens next year. If I was him, I'd be a shitbag and fucking my PCL. I'm out for the season. Pay me still.
You need to pull a Kadarius Toney. You need to pull a Kadarius Toney.
Worst case scenario,
I'm not playing for a team that. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Worst case scenario, I think, is they tag they don't get a deal done. They tag him. He says he's not playing, and they trade him to somebody who will sign him. So they get something for him.
Where do you see him going? I see him in a Giants jersey. I see him in a Commanders jersey. I see him.
I would love to have
Lamar Jackson would look good in silver and black.
I see him in a Raiders jersey.
I would love to see him in a Giants jersey. I don't think that's going to happen anymore because I don't think they're fully sold on Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is not leaving. And
I think that's enough though.
After this year, I agree.
So I think the next year free agency they're going to focus on putting receivers and that defense. I don't think a quarterback.
Weapons.
Yeah, I don't think the quarterback is what's going. I think the number one location is Detroit. I think Detroit likes Jared Goff. But I think Detroit has the pieces. Detroit has all the pieces. Like if you put Lamar Jackson there, you're talking a legitimate playoff contender. You're talking there's no other situation that fits.
That division is in shambles.
And on top of that, the only other place I see where it would make sense for Lamar to go is Oakland.
Miami.
Okay, yes. But I would say
picks.
Oakland. I would say Oakland over Miami. Oakland makes sense, but right now, Oakland. So right now the and he's linked to 3 franchises: Oakland, Miami, and I think Fran is Brady.
Oh, Brady, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if they're smart, Oakland would shoot for Lamar. But like you said, Lamar's not going there. So we have to see next year around this time what these teams look like to see where Lamar's going. So if they're smart, though, they could pull a Russell Wilson. Maybe they know something we don't and trade Lamar off for somebody.
I really think Miami is the perfect spot only because not only does he have weapons, he has a really great offensive mind, but it's because they have draft picks to give Baltimore to compensate. because they get it from the Niners. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's the perfect place. I don't think Detroit is going to go there only because of what you said. The strength of what Goff did this year, they're gonna run it back. They're gonna run same thing with Danny Dimes. He really
You
did
could,
good.
you could.
Run it back.
I got a question. That's a hypothetical. You couldn't see Lamar Jackson in Tampa Bay or New Orleans
You
or
see New
Carolina?
Orleans- You can see New Orleans, but I
No.
don't think that's gonna happen. I think Miami. I think Las Vegas. I think those are the two spots for me. I can't think of any other teams that would really do that. Miami for sure, knowing that they're in that Tua phase right now. You guys in Las Vegas, you guys have a quarterback thing going on, and y'all don't even have a top 5 pick.
You just heard me just now.
I think that's a good
Heard me just
spot
now.
too. So we're going to this next game, the last game of the week of Wildcard Weekend, and it's everybody's favorite game because we're all looking.
Podcast takeover. F Dallas. Go Brady.
We're all Buccaneers fans, so Cowboys go to. This is the funny part. Listen, this is why I kept telling people about divisions. We got a 12-5 Cowboys going to an 8-9 Tampa Bay. This is what the division does. This is why I keep saying you've got to win your division because an 8-9 team is hosting a 12-5. It's blasphemy.
I'm just gonna ask you this question right now. I'm gonna ask you both this question right now. All right. Who would you rather have as your quarterback in the playoffs? Old man Brady or Dak Cousins?
Brady.
All right, dope.
But I think Dallas is gonna win it.
Throw up.
I think Dallas. Huh?
Go ahead. Turn around and throw up.
I know. I just think you guys. I think we're looking at old Brady and assuming he's gonna snap like he did. I don't see it happening. I think, mind you, I lost my fantasy because of Mike Evans on my bench and DeMar. Damn, let me not say that. The Bills game. The DeMar Hamlin situation. I would say DeMar Hamlin situation, but I would have came out wrong. The Bills game. Okay? I lost my fantasy. But Mike
That's
Evans,
why
I would have
won.
started
That's
Mike
why I won
Evans.
third place. So.
I won third. Whatever. Anyway, I think that was a fluke. Trayvon Diggs. I love Trayvon Diggs. I absolutely love Trayvon.
No why.
Yeah, high risk, high reward.
Old toast.
But I think Dallas is built better than the Bucks. And I think that they will get their first. I don't see them going further than that. I don't. But I think that's what they need, and I think they will. I gotta use the bathroom. My stomach hurt from this bullshit I'm spitting.
Go ahead.
God damn,
Say
man.
it.
I think the Dallas Cowboys are gonna win, man. I want to be wrong. There are takes I love being wrong about. This is one of them. Look, so before we go any further,
that's another trap
before we
game.
go any further,
That's another trap game, bro. Go ahead, watch.
Before we go any further,
so he's about to, he's handling his kid, but I'm gonna tell you like this Brady's gonna. I think they played this year. Don't quote me. If you could look that up, please. But I think Cowboys beat the Buccaneers this year. I really think they did, like early in the weeks. But what I want to say is this: you don't Brady against that defense. I think they'll do good. Why? I'm not a big Mike McCarthy fan. So
they played in week 1.
And they lost, right?
No, they beat the Cowboys.
Ooh.
They beat them 19-3. But that was without Dak. No, that was with Dak.
It was
He got an injury that game. He got an injury in the game. That was the game that he had a broken arm. People were saying he looked like he had a broken arm the whole game.
I cannot I cannot bet against Brady, but I can. It's just not against the Cowboys. I think the Bucks squeeze this game and go against the Niners next and lose.
They beat Dallas in Dallas.
I think, and they're going to Tampa. I think they beat them again. I really do. But it is, Dak didn't look good last week. So you not looking good that last week kind of reflects to me. Maybe you bounce back and I'm going to be wrong. But at the same time, I really think Tom Brady squeezes one more playoff game, loses to the Niners, and comes to the Niners. That's my that's my take. That's my take right now.
I hope Brady comes to the Niners so he doesn't fucking go to the Raiders.
Y'all might get Aaron Rodgers. That's who I think y'all get. I really think y'all get him. I really think that no other quarterback wants to go there besides elite top 10. You gotta think of you have to go against Mahomes and Herbert twice. You know what I mean? So you need that type of quarterback if you're gonna go into. That's why they went and got Russell Wilson. I mean, he's not playing that way, but at the same time, that's why the Broncos got him. The Raiders got to do the same exact thing.
The thing the Raiders could do is mortgage 2 first-round draft picks for a quarterback who's 38, but that's just me.
I mean, the quarterback carousel in the draft is not that high. I'm not big on Bryce Young either. You're not going to be 175 pounds, 6 foot, and think you're going to be an elite quarterback.
I think Will Levis going to be that. I think Will Levis will be that guy.
Will Levis has all the stature. I agree.
And I think Stroud is going to be the quarterback to break that Ohio State quarterback curse.
No, I don't think that either. This quarterback, you might have a tape, but since we're on here, this draft, when it comes to quarterbacks, I don't think none of them are good to be elite, like to be that guy, like Trevor Lawrence, to be Patrick Mahomes types. I don't see that. Will Levis or Levis, whatever you want to say, he has the build. He has all the measurements and stuff like that. Bryce Young has the accolades. CJ Stroud has the accolades, but I don't see none of them saying he's the guy. Like at the same time, look at all the best players. Herbert 6'2" and up. Burrow 6'2" and up. Mahomes 6'2" and up.
Russell Wilson 5'10".
Trevor Lawrence 6'2" and up. Like there's a build that you have. Will Levis has it, but at the same time, I don't see Bryce Young being that guy. So, for the Raiders' standpoint, why try to find that when you have Aaron Rodgers, who already knows Adams?
You want to know? Do you want to know why? Because I want the Raiders to tank next year.
Why?
You know why?
You want Caleb. That's why.
That's right, I do. You goddamn right, I do. And I don't want them to trade. And I don't want them to trade first-round draft picks that they can use to trade up in the fucking draft next year for Caleb fucking Williams. You goddamn right.
This is a typical Raider response because he's also a USC fan. A Raider USC thing, like Marcus Allen, I get it. I really get it. I get it.
You know what quarterback I'm waiting for, right?
Who? I don't know which. What?
Arch.
Oh,
Arch.
yeah.
He's not coming to y'all, though.
I hope Danny Jones relapses, trash, we do bad.
No, you don't want to do that. Y'all projecting the right way.
I want the Raiders to be the worst team in the NFL next year. Okay? I don't care.
What team do you think Archie's little boy will go to that would the Texans?
Arch. It's Arch Manning. It's Arch Manning.
I'll tell you this. Those Mannings are strategic about the places they'll play and won't play. So
He didn't want to play for the
I-
Chargers.
I-
We knew that.
I don't think Arch Manning would go to the Giants, and I don't think he would go to the Colts, and I don't think he'd go to Denver because I think he's
Yeah.
gonna try and create
Yeah.
his own legacy.
Yep, I agree. As much as I want it,
I just don't think I think he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna live in my uncle's shadows. I
New
want to
Orleans.
do
He's
my
not
own
going to
thing.
New Orleans. He won't go to
Nope.
New Orleans.
Won't go to New
Yeah.
Orleans.
Yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
he'll
point.
do that. Remember, because fucking Eli was like, I'm not gonna play for San Diego. Remember that? And they drafted his ass anyways.
He got
Like,
traded.
and I
do.
think
I remember.
A Giants fan
remember.
would remember. But I'm gonna tell you like this before I shut this down. Let's get a take in on where you think Arch would go and what perfect spot he should go to.
It's too far away. It's too far away. Any given Sunday,
yeah, that's
4 or
like 4
5
years
years.
now.
But
3 years
but
now.
I will say this:
Still,
I do think he's going to go to a big city market. You may see
Thanks.
him. You may see him with the Jets. You may see him in Miami. I think he will go to a big city market.
See him in Vegas.
that's Jets.
He might. Because at the end of the day, like you said, his name alone is so big
It
that no
carries.
one's going. It does. It does. And they get to choose where they want to go.
But
At
look,
the end, they get to choose.
Caleb Williams for the Raiders, 2023. I'm
I have a big
speaking
ass
it
baby.
into existence.
Sorry,
Speaking
real
of-
random. Are y'all boys still babies?
How old
My
is
boy's
he?
still a baby, man. He's such.
Oh.
He's 1.5, a
Vinny,
little over 1.5. But he's such
Vinny.
a baby, man.
Come here.
I love it. Look at this.
Vinny,
And he a big boy.
He's
wanna come say
not
hi?
a baby, but he's
come here. Come here.
bro.
Come be a baby over here. Come here.
My
That's
boy.
my baby.
Hey, I got that T-shirt.
Say hi. He's trying to watch YouTube.
He ain't got time for this. He ain't got time for this. He busy, Dad. He busy.
Yeah,
Leave him
all right,
alone.
you can go.
I appreciate y'all. Hey, I'm gonna try to patch this because I kind of fucked up and got 2 versions of this. I'm about to re-watch this to see what part I didn't see, but at the same time, appreciate y'all showing up. Go ahead.
If you want to erase that whole part while we're monologuing while y'all were gone, I'm cool with that too.
I am keeping that because what's funny is Washington did the same thing when I had to take a piss. He had talked and he's like,
You saw it?
yeah.
saw
So listen, come and subscribe to the Soda Flex podcast, the Roundtree playlist. My boys, first of all, to my boy right there with the Jaguars hat, you enjoy the fuck out of that playoff game.
What
I
time's the
pray
game?
8:00. I pray that your son is healthy enough for you to go travel.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
everyone else pray for it because man, that is an
I wanna go.
experience. That's an experience.
It is.
If fun fact before I go, I went to Niners Giants playoff game in 2011 where we muffed
What
the
year?
punt.
What year?
2011. Where we muffed the punt.
It's
It's giving you Super Bowl vibes. I get it.
hold on. Hold on. I gotta change my phone. It's giving me. Oh my gosh. Never mind. Never mind. He's ruining it.
But
It's giving me Super Bowl vibes. It's giving me. I'm looking at this right now.
I've seen highs, I've seen lows. That was the lowest I've ever seen where K. Williams freaking fumbles and the Giants end up being the Super Bowl champion that year. So listen, it is what it is. I see that, internet's fucking up again, but at the same time, hey, I see y'all boys again.